We're talking the day after OpenAI launched GPT-4. Apparently, this extraordinary advances has leapfrogged further and further. So I think your appeal to empower people to make consciously digital decisions has never been more relevant. In your book, you identify, I think, you wanted 30, but then 2 more came along, 32 challenges that you recommend your readers adopt to bring balance to their relationship with data and digital media. I don't want to cut through. We haven't got time to go through all 32. What would be your the most important kind of 2 or 3 that you would take out from the book?
Sure. Before I answer that, can I say a couple of things about ChatGPT?
Of course, please do. Please do.
I read today a quote which I love very much from a scientist. I can't remember what's his name, but basically he said that ChatGPT is the biggest bullshit generator ever. And I think this is so true. So I did try using it for my topic, and it's amazing at creating plausibly sounding answers, which are completely not true. They absolutely lack evidence. In fact, like I asked for a couple of data bias examples. It came up with saying that this and this company had a data breach, and I happen to know the case, and I'm re-asking it. Are you sure that this is company? And they say, oh no, sorry, that's a mistake. And I think it's such an parody of what can go wrong when we're misusing the data and when we actually don't know how the decision has been taken. I think that's the biggest lesson for the humanity in terms of that. That's not to say it shouldn't be used yet, but it's
completely agree. Sorry to cut in. I just wanted to pick up on what you said about ChatGPT being a bullshit generator. There's a terrific piece in the Times Higher from either last week or the week before that I'll put a link to in the show notes, where a New York University professor called Colm O'Shea talks about it being the absolute ultimate bullshit generator. But one of the reasons for that he pulls out is that it's very much, and you'll know about this both from the work you do now, but also from your work as a marketeer, because of the way it works through convergent rather than divergent thinking. So it wants to boil things down rather than to be genuinely inspirational and human in the way that we will join things together. But it's a fantastic piece. Don't let me stop your flow on ChatGPT. I'm sure there's more to say.
There is lots to say, but I think it's very interesting. I get lots of speaking requests now about how can we use ChatGPT in learning? How can we? And I think this is where I see the problem of how we're all jumping at the very new piece of technology that every time it arrives. Again, this is not to say that we should absolutely ignore. But I think we need a little bit of a gap, which we can use for thinking and maybe experimenting, before we launch something or see something in the market and before we actually make it part of our lives. Because if we all now go ahead and just integrate ChatGPT into our learning process, what we're going to do, we're going to completely disrupt the very little what is left of our education process, what hasn't been ruined yet with 2 minutes videos, which I very much oppose. And then, we're going to wake up to the fact that we actually don't know anymore what's true, what's not, and what's real knowledge and what's not. Does it mean that we need to ignore the development of ChatGPT? No, absolutely not. But perhaps, taking a bit of time to understand what are the premises, how are decisions being driven, what is it good for, and what is it not good for, and educating your students about it. Using examples would be a very healthy way to adopt the technology. And really the problem we have is that we are living in the age of unprecedented tech revolution, where tech development is moving super fast. Our social structures are not ready for that, and this tech development is totally fueled by the marketing budgets of big tech companies. I'm talking about it as a digital marketeer. And, and it calls for, hey, but let's wait and actually see what's happening. Do we need it there being claimed as loaded? That's not true, right? There is, yes, evolution or revolution. Yes, the society will be evolving, but before we all jump off the cliff, perhaps, might be a good idea to send somebody over there and see what's at the bottom. Anyways, going back to your question about the tips and challenges. So when I was writing this book 5 or 6 years ago, there was one type of technology. Now we have something else. So technology is always evolving. So probably universal principle is to understand what is actually the effect that it's happening to you, what is really costing you. So for instance, if you're constantly switching your attention, Gloria Mark, who's a researcher in focus on how technology affects our focus and attention, says that we switch our tasks when we're doing something on the screens approximately every 47 seconds. So how is this affecting you that you can only focus on the task for 47 seconds? And once you realize the real price that you're paying, maybe you're not accomplishing your goals. Maybe this is actually undermining your well-being, because it does. And there is also scientific research that shows that when we're switching tasks constantly, it increases our level of cortisol, increases our heart rate, our blood pressure, may even lower our immune response to diseases. Then you can come up with certain things and certain rules of how you want to use technology. So it's not up to me to tell you what exactly to do. Maybe for some people it will be, like don't keep 20 tabs open, just focus on one thing, then do something else. For some people it will be maybe stop taking your phone to your bedroom, and actually this will help you not read negative news before going to bed, and not check your emails first thing in the morning, raising your stress levels again, but rather leave them outside of the bedroom. If you do really start observing your body response, your focus, how you're relating to technology as a human, you'll understand, what are these bottlenecks and what you specifically need to change. There is no unique recipe.